Morning everyone. So today I'm going to show you how I made this lovely 3D hanging star using printable acetate and some images from the Minecraft Studio Christmas Extravaganza USB. As you can see, it's a lovely 3D shape. It's quite simple to make. So let's get started. Okay, so in Minecraft Studio, we're going to start by bringing in the star decoration overlay. Now this is a free download you can get from my blog, craftations.co.uk, and you can then download it to your PC and bring it into Minecraft Studio, and then you got it to create whatever image you like over the top. Okay, so I've used Minecraft Studio's Christmas Extravaganza, and then the builder posy section, and we're just going to bring in all the different elements that we want to have on our star. So I start by just bringing in all the different bits that I think I might want, and once they're in there I can move them about, resize them, rearrange them, and get it to looking how I want it to look. So bearing in mind that the inner star is what we're looking to, that's what you will see. Doesn't matter if it overhangs, but just be aware that you won't see that once you've put your star together. So we just get all our layers in the right place, we flip them, we resize them, and then we reorder them to get it looking how we want it to. Okay, so once we've done that, we select all and we'll group them all together. This makes it one image. Now what we can now do is we can change it to whatever size that we want. So if I zoom out a bit, you'll see we can make it smaller. You can make it larger. For the one I make it as sort of as big as I can, that'll fit onto one sheet of A4. So here we go, just centre it, pop it up to the top, and then I think we'll go with that size. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to print it out onto our printable acetate as the full colour version. Okay, and then once we've printed that one, we're going to go back into our layers tab, and we're going to expand it, and we're going to deselect all the coloured elements, so we've just got the white star remaining, and we're going to print that one off on a piece of white card. My printer only takes up to sort of 200 GSM, so I'm just going to print it on a plain piece of paper, and you'll see what I do with it a bit later on. Okay, so that's the Minecraft Studio element done, and now what we have to do is just pop it all together. Okay, so now we've got our two copies printed out. The first one, the colour one, which is on our printable acetate. I've used Craftmaster printable acetate. I have quite a few people asking how you know which side to print onto. The easiest way I find is to just get a basic cheap water-based felt tip pen and pop a mark in the bottom corner. Make sure it's not your alcohol ones, because that will work on both sides. So it's a water-based pen, and then what you'll see is if I wipe this off now, by rubbing my finger over it, you'll see it's come off. Well, that means that's the side, the non-printable side. So if I show you again what would happen if I did it on the other side, so again a little mark in the bottom corner, and then rub my finger over it, and you'll see that it stays on there. So you know that the side it stays on is the side that you want to then print on. Okay, so that's the colour version on the printable acetate. Now here's the white one that we printed out, and like I said, my printer only takes 200 GSM, and I like to have a solid base. So what I do is I just print it off on a piece of paper, and then I've got a sheet of the Craftmaster 300 GSM white card, and using a solvent-based glue, I'm just going to pop some glue all over the back and then fix it onto the 300 GSM. This is going to give me a really solid base, or back should I say, for my star. So if you've got a printer that prints on thick card, by all means print straight onto that, but for me I find it just as easy to do it this way. Okay, so that's that one. So if we then pop that to one side for now, by the time we get back to it, it will have dried out, and bring back in the coloured acetate one. I can't really see that, so let's pop a piece of card under it. I think you can see a bit better now. And now what we need to do is we're going to be cutting it out. Now the acetate one, we're going to cut all the way around the outside. Okay, so that includes the tabs. I just cut it with a pair of scissors, entirely up to you what you use. It's only a few straight lines, so I find some scissors work much easier than trying to use a paper trimmer or something like that. Okay, so that's cut out, and then we just need to cut out the little notches of where the tabs meet in between each of the points. So that's that one cut out. So again, we'll pop that to one side and bring back in the white card, which now should be dry enough for you to cut out. Now this one, we're actually going to be cutting out the inner edge, so just the star shape. We don't need the tabs because they're on the acetate one. So again, just using a pair of scissors, cut out the star shape. It's just a few straight lines, so it's fairly straightforward to cut out. And then you then have both pieces, your white star and your coloured acetate, all ready to make your star with. And you'll see there that make sure that they're the same size. If you've printed them, as I said at the beginning of the video, of course they'll be the same size. And you've just got the tabs then overlapping on the acetate one. Okay, so our next step is going to be putting the score lines onto both the white square, the white star should I say, it's not a square at all, and the acetate star. So you're going to be going from the top point to the bottom middle from each one. Now what I have done, again, is a download from craftations.co.uk, is this download sheet which gives you all your full instructions step by step with diagrams so that you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so going back to this, we're going to line it up, and so you'll see I've got the top point on the black line down the middle of my scoreboard, and then the middle at the bottom on the black line as well. So you need to be careful when scoring the point because you might find it bends the wrong way, so I tend to go outwards and just score down. Turn it round and repeat exactly the same, and we're going to do that on each of the 5 points of the star. Okay, so you can see there the score lines that I've created on each of the points. Okay, and then if we bring back in the acetate star, we'll start by doing exactly the same. We're going to line up the top point, and we're going to line up the middle at the bottom, and we're going to score again, making sure we hold it from the top to the bottom, rotate it, and do exactly the same along each point of the star. Okay, so once that's done and we've got all the lines scored, the next thing we also need to do is to score the tab lines. So you'll see, maybe it'd be a bit better if I brought in a piece of paper and popped it underneath. I think you might see a bit better. You'll see where we had our tab lines going down here. So this is what we're going to now be scoring, and again just line it up on your scoreboard, pop your score line in, rotate it, and do the same on the next one. And we're going to repeat exactly the same on every tab on the star. Okay, so that's all our scoring done. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is to do our folding. Okay, so if we start with the white base, what we're going to be doing, everything works to the middle. Okay, so you're not doing the same from top to bottom, you're doing it from the middle out to the points. So for each of the points into the middle, on the back here they're going to be valley folds. So as you can see here, you are going to get the point, you're going to sort of place a crease down it, and then to get a crisp line we're going to score. So you'll see I'm scoring from the middle up to the top, and then we'll turn it round and I'll do the same on the next point from the middle to the top, and the same on all 5 of the points. So they're all valley folds. Okay, now the next thing is on the bits in between the stars, so the short lines here, what we're going to be doing is they're going to all be mountain folds. Okay, so again from the middle out we're going to create mountain folds on all of those lines. So then just with a little bit of manipulation you'll see how it takes the shape. It looks a little bit like a sort of soap dish shape, if you like, because it goes in the middle. There you go. If I turn it over you can see how the back it's coming outwards. It's probably a bit easier to see like that. Right, so then onto the acetate one, we're actually going to be doing the opposite to what we did on the white. So whereas on the white we did the valley fold, on the acetate it's going to be a mountain fold. I've popped all this onto the downloadable instruction sheet, so if you're unsure, all the lines are on there, and I've put an M for anything that needs to be a mountain fold and a V for anything that needs to be a valley fold. Okay, so we're just going from the middle to the point, and these are all mountain folds that you can see. Alright, and then what we're going to do is on the short lines, this time on the acetate, they're going to be the valley folds. So we'll go from the middle outwards and fold and score all of those to make them valley folds. Alright, so there you go. You can see that you've got in effect the opposite of what you created on your white, with the point coming upwards, whereas on the white the point went downwards. Okay, last thing to do is we need to fold in each of the tabs. The easiest way to do this, you need to have the point, you're going to be folding it inwards. Okay, so where the point in the middle is coming up, turn it over and you're going to then fold them inwards, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be popping those tabs behind the back of the star and sticking them down. Okay, so there we go, that's all the tabs folded over, and then the next thing to do is to add our adhesive. Now I highly recommend you use red liner tape for this. It's probably the highest tack. Wet adhesive, you'd really struggle because it's the acetate and it getting the grip. Okay, so I would always suggest the red liner tape for doing this bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your acetate star, the reverse of it, because you want the red liner tape to be on the inside of the tab, because you're going to be folding it over and sticking to the back. Okay, So if I show you it here, you'll see that the point's coming outwards, and I've popped the red liner tape on the inner side. And I'm going to repeat that on every single tab of the star. Okay, so that's each of the tabs with the red liner tape on. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work out where the top is. Okay, so we want our robin at the top, and that's going to be the last edge that we're going to fix in. Okay, we're going to start with these two here at the bottom. All right, and we're going to be fixing those over the same on the white. Okay, so if I show you, we need to take our red liner tape off, and then easier said than done, as with any red liner tape. Not the easiest thing in the world to get it off. Right, so, and the last one. No. There we go, got it off. Okay, now, so we've got the point up on that one, and then we've got the opposite way with the point going outwards on the bottom, and then we're going to stick these tabs on. Okay, so what you need to do is make sure that you line the edge of the star up to the edge of the white. All right, so sort of pull it in place, and once you've done it, you can run your fingers along it to stick it down. Okay, so remembering, because we want this as a 3D star, you need to have your points the opposite, you need one of them to be a concave and one a convex. I think that makes a bit more sense if I explain it like that. So we'll pop all of those 4 bottom ones on. Okay, so you can see it's starting to take shape, and you've got quite a bit of a hollow in the middle. So if we bring in some lights, these are just 20 LED battery operated copper wire lights, and we just scrunch them up a little bit. You can feed it in if you want, but sort of one by one, but you'll take quite a while. So scrunch it all up, and then we're going to feed it through the top, and because we've still got 3 sides not stuck, it's going to feed in really quite easily. Okay, so we'll try and get a bit into each of the points of the star, so that once it's lit up, it's sort of bit more of an even distribution. You can see it there, like in the bottom 2 points. You can use a 10 light set for this if that's what you've got. I just happen to have 20 set lights, so that's what's gone in those. Okay, so you see I feed it all in through the top, and then you want to make sure that your wire finishes coming out of your top point. Okay, because that's where you're going to be hanging from. So we've got the 2 at the bottom we've already done, then we've got the top point. Okay, and that's going to be the last we stick. So what we're next going to do is stick on the next 2 up of the side of the stars, exactly the same, making sure that the white goes into the crease of the acetate, and then fold it over and stick it down. And same on the other side, again making sure we've got all the lights inside and that the wire comes out of the top, and then stick this point here down. Get the red liner tape off again, and this one, oh, it's not gonna come on. Nope, nearly. Got ya. Okay, and we'll stick that one down. Again, folding it into the crease and sticking it down. Okay, it's really important that you do that, because otherwise you won't get the depth and the clarity of shape of your star. Okay, so once they're all in there and we're happy with where the lights are, we're happy that the wire comes out of the top of the star, we can then fix the last point into place. So doing exactly the same, taking off the red liner tape and sticking it down. Okay, that came off a bit easier. So the last point will be the trickiest, to make sure you've got it tight. Okay, but again, it is worth taking the time and making sure it is all tight. And then you'll see there is your 3D star. Okay, see the depth of it there. And if I turn the lights on, that's a bit hard to see. It's a bit bright. There you go. I think if I hold it like that, you can see it a bit better. The light's in there, so it'll look beautiful during the day or during the night. So yeah, there we go. So that's your 3D star, and with your lights you can hang it up, and perfect for your Christmas decorations. Okay, so last thing is, like I said, these are the instructions I've popped together. You'll see this step by step exactly how I did, how you can make it. So it should be fairly straightforward to follow. You'll even see that I've popped the colour version and the white version so you can distinguish between the two. Okay, any questions, you can contact me through the website. Alright, so thanks very much and hope you enjoyed this demo.